Um, Chat? Welcome back to Password. Oh, snap, I should probably turn this off. Actually, no, I'll keep it for the intro. Hey, guys. This is kind of awkward. But welcome back to Password. Now, you guys might be wondering where I've been lately. Well, I haven't been posting much videos in general, VN content in a while. I think our last visual novel we played was around 6 months ago. But welcome back to Password. Now, you guys might be wondering where I was. I actually started streaming more often, and I've been streaming over on Twitch. So if you guys want to go follow the Twitch, I highly recommend you go do so. I will be posting quality streams there, and we're only getting better as we start. So if you haven't followed the Twitch, I'll have it linked in the description. And I'm gonna get back to posting more videos on a regular basis, so don't worry about that. I currently have my classes again starting soon since my summer break is almost over, but that's not gonna stop me. So I figured, why not start with Password? This is part 29 of Password, and we're on Dean's route, I believe. Because look at the big fella. Look at him. He's so adorable. I love Dean so much. Anywho, it's been a while since I've done a visual novel, so where did we leave off at? Day 6. I have to visit the vault, right? I think so. Right, chat? I visit the vault. I made my way down to the vault. Combined with the gut feeling I had, something was drawing me to the keypad next to the door. Oh god. What did I say on my last video the password could be? Oh shit, it's been so long. Chat? Guys, I have no idea what the password is. I have no idea what the password is, chat. Should I look it up? Should I look it up? Why am I asking like if this is a stream? Um, Chat, do I look it up? Do I really look it up? I mm, uh, I don't want to look it up. Yeah, we have our save files. Chat, I really don't want to know I really don't want to know what happens if I don't put in the password. But at the same time, I don't know what the password is. Guy, should I ask my friend? Should I ask my best friend what the password is? Uh, Me over here having a fucking moral dilemma. Uh, I really don't know. I really don't know, chat. I really don't want Dean to like die or something. So I'm asking one of my friends. Chris, highly doubt you're watching this, but please spare me. Please spare me. I really need to figure this out. By the way, for my visual novel content, don't mind me. I'm just texting my friend. For my visual novel content, should I have Rookie on the side of the screen right here for my visual novel content? Because I feel like me just being here makes it seem a little more bland. At least there's a little bit of action on the screen while I'm not doing anything, right? Right? If I moved myself up here, maybe I could even be like a little character, you know? Okay. I'm being cringe. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry. All right. So, What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save here. Yeah, okay. Right there. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save because in the next video, what we'll do before we continue, we'll see what happens if we don't put in the password. Yeah, so in our next password video, we'll see what happens if we don't put in the password, but apparently the password is death cap. Hey, there we go. There was a moment of pause before the LED panel flashed vividly. Almost immediately, I felt something grip my chest, a tightening sensation that made it hard to breathe. Ah, blackout. I could hear my heart beating hard and fast in my chest as something like a memory flashed across the forefront of my mind. Oh, Dean? No! I gasped, and no sooner had I been given enough of a reprieve for air, the tightening came back at full force. What the hell? Did he get stabbed? He has his hand on his chest, I think. I felt to my knees clutching my chest. The pain spiked once more, or before fading away to nothing, as if it was never there to begin with. What? What the hell? I looked towards the input panel and gulped, wondering if it somehow drugged me by touching it, but there was no sensation on my fingers that may have hinted as such. I put it down to being half asleep, but uh, I was rattled enough and awake enough to find that claim empty. Was Dean in trouble though? Sick, maybe? Something I keep in mind for sure. It looked like he got stabbed. Like there was blood pouring out of his mouth. He was holding his hand on his like stomach. Looked like he got stabbed. I took one last look around the room before heading back to get changed for breakfast. By the time we all assembled into the dining room, Orlando went into the kitchen to only bring. Oh my god, I miss this music. I really miss this music, chat. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand how much I missed playing Password. Oops. You know, you didn't really have to cater for us. Oh, I know, but it's fun. I promise this won't last a whole month. Although, I do wonder if people are going to be upset if they had to settle for cereal and toast. Orlando slunk back into the kitchen, presumably to grab more things for breakfast. So, anyone doing anything interesting today? Tyson! Oh my god, Tyson! Oh, I missed him. Look at him. It's my boy Tyson. I missed you, Tyson. How are you? It's been 6 months. Actually, when was our last password video? It was more than that. Actually, now that I think about that. I missed you for however long I haven't done a password video for. Anywho, I should probably move myself a little back too. Just a little bit. Right there. Thinking about trying the gym downstairs, you know? Something different. Did you need someone to spot you? Wasn't expecting you to offer something like that. You can crush and hurt your you can get crushed and hurt yourself for all I care then. Okay, sorry. I'd be glad for the assist. I just wasn't expecting it. I'll probably go for a swim and then maybe head into the forest. Oh, well, I think I want to go for a swim. It'd be nice to check out the hot tub too. I think I'm gonna spend the day in the kitchen. What? Again? Well, yeah, true, I know, but I wanted to learn. You don't know how to cook, Sal? Well, yes, but nothing fancy. By the way, I finally made up my mind on who I wanted to do, whose route I wanted to do after Dean's. We're doing Orlando's route next because I fucking want to. So yeah. Yes, well, nothing fancy. He told me about last time he tried to make something fancy, and well, it was a story to be sure. Seemed like everyone had their plans for today, and here I was with nothing really grabbing me. Why don't you join Dean and I, Dave? What, at the pool? Or the hot tub? I could probably take. I could probably go over taking a dip in there too. Although, really, I just want to wade around the water, given the weather seemed nice. Well, alright. I guess I'll join you guys today then. Yeah, I noticed that in parts that I have already listened or heard to, apparently these are light up, but in parts that I haven't went to, these are dark. But then sometimes it will be like I haven't played a part and these are lit up still. So that I don't get what's that about, but we left pretty much immediately, telling everyone else that we'd be back at lunch. Not that anyone really seemed to pay much mind of that. Sorry if my English is not Englishing. Oh my god, look at Ross with his little floaty! Look at him, he's so happy! Oh my god, he's such a cutie pie! Look at him! And then Dean with his damn water trunks, dude. I like Roswell's though more. Me personally, I think I have Roswell's. Why am I looking at their damn... Anyways, this one was warm and pleasant. Not a cloud in the sky. Dean opened the gate for the two of us, closing it behind himself as we entered the pool. What a great day for a swim. Or hot tub. It sure must be nice having a pool in your backyard. For the next month you do. Well, for the next month you do. Better make the most of it, Dave. Or the hot tub. Way to have one... Way to have a one-track mind. Hey, I know what I like. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, I'm going to the hot tub right now. There he goes. I'm gonna see if I remember how to swim. You don't know if you remember? Hey, it's been a while. I figured it's like riding a bike, maybe. Well, maybe stick to the shallow end until you're certain you can remember. Also eased into the pool and began to paddle in place, although I could see he still had his feet firmly on the bottom of the pool. Who should I go check up on? We know who we're checking up on, chat. Dean. Leaving Roswell to get reacquainted with the pool, I wandered over to Dean, who was fiddling with the controls off to the side. I got the impression you were already going to be in the hot tub by the time I came over here. Hey, cut me some slack. It takes a while for the bubbles to get going. And all the settings are still good from last night? It's more involved than that. Normally I'd want it hot, but with the weather being nice out, it is right to have it hot as it normally have it. Sounds like you're overthinking it. Fine, we'll just go with how it is now. He helped and turned the tub on. Bubbles started nearly immediately. So you hadn't turned it on. I was waiting to see if you were joining me or not. Aw, I put a hand on each shoulder, reaching up and resting some weight on him and looking at the bubbles. Well, after last night, I do kind of think hot tubs are cooler. Don't you mean hotter? I know what I said. Then what are we waiting for? Come on. I led the way in the tub a short while away and slipped in, with Dean right behind. From what it looked like Roswell was doing, we were all being equally parts lazy about moving in the water. So, how we feeling since last night? What, the movie? Yeah, the movie. No! Yeah, the movie. No! What happened after the movie? Oh, it was great actually. It was like taking a bath, but just outdoors. You take baths with company often? Not all the time. What do you mean, not all the time? Wait, you do sometimes? When? With who? Who am I kidding? That's none of my business. Sometimes it's just easier to save water? Dude! Dude, Dave! What do you mean sometimes it's easier to save water, man? Who do you shower with? Tyson? We figured that out. We figured that out in Tyson's route. But like, are we gonna get a shower CG with Dean? Please. Please, I beg of it, dude. I beg of a shower scene with Dean. And you're not seeing anyone? So, it wouldn't be because, well, any sort of romantic reason, right? Oh, no, I haven't done anything like that with anyone. Anything like what? You know, the sexy stuff. Just kind of been waiting, I guess. And that's fine. Great fun from my experience, but I think that's a conversation to be had later. Why is that? Dean nodded over to Roswell, who was already waddling through the water to us. It was probably the best we weren't going to discuss that with him present. Even with the three of us in the hot tub, it was spacious. The others could probably all fit before we'd find it properly cramped, even though with the space, it was quiet. I don't think Roswell and Dean had properly interacted before, so maybe uh, that's where the lack of conversation was coming from. Still, it didn't stop Roswell from trying. Did either of you have an interest in magic? Like wizards or street magicians? The latter. Though, if you know anyone that fits the former, you have my attention. No, nothing that come, nothing that'd count, anyways. Just know a few tricks myself that Buddy and me learned together. Like what? Uh, nothing that feel appropriate for public viewing. That's for sure. Okay, dude, how many guys have you smashed, man? How many guys have you smashed, dude? Come on, dude. Please tell me. Come on. Though I guess you could do it in public. Nothing wrong with that. I'm confused. Is this your way of telling us that you learned a new trick yourself, Roswell? Yes, actually. But it does require an assistant. Just like my trick. Dean! Is that you volunteering, Dean? I don't have to fit in a skimpy costume, do I? Don't think I'm Sylvette enough to pull that off. So you're looking for someone to saw in half, or what? Exactly. Well, count me out, then. I'd rather stay in one piece, thank you very much. Aw, killjoy. The conversation pretty much continued like that until Roswell tapped out, going back inside for lunch. Though it was still a little ways off, we still had to get dry and change, so we headed back inside all the same. By happenstance, we all ended up in the kitchen, eating leftover pizza from the night before. It seemed like we were barely making a dent in the amount Orlando had thrown together. Pizza's still good. Of course. Of course it's good. I made it. Guess you do have your uses, huh? Tyson, play nice. I said it was good, didn't I? What do you think? Who do you think has been making breakfast? Benson, obviously. Orlando, obviously. It does make me wonder if Benson what was that? I'm sorry, chat. It does make me wonder if Benson has had much at all to do with us being so self-reliant. Makes you wonder if he can actually cook. Benson, I mean. Then Orlando could take a break. He's got to be able to. I don't see anyone else here that be taking on the cooking duties, if only for himself. What about other people that have lived here? Like who? One of the great mysteries. Maybe they just order in. Imagine the delivery costs, though. When we all had eaten our fill, we dispersed into the mansion to do whatever it was we had planned for the rest of the day. Dave! Before I even taken a step out of the kitchen, I was grabbed from behind and squeezed in a tight hug, lifted off the ground lightly. Hey, put me down! Spend the afternoon with me. Or what? Or I'll just carry you around until you say you will. No. Hey, I want to be carried around by Dean. Dean, can you carry me around, please? Please? Okay, fine, I will. He set me down, placing a big hand on top of my head and looking pleased. His hands are pretty big. Have you seen? His hands are big, dude. Have you not seen the freaking? I have 3 saves that are all the same. I'll just overwrite. I'll overwrite this one. He set me down, placing a big hand on top of my head and looking pleased with himself. So, what's the plan? Remember how I said I wanted to take a walk in the woods? Not really. Perfect. Then I have a proposal for you. Hit me with it. We should go on a date instead, right now. In the woods? Okay, so maybe it won't be that kind of date I was wanting. But I figured there's not a lot of opportunities for someone to show up and ruin our alone time. What's there to do in the woods? Glad you asked. I was taking to Orlando. I was talking to Orlando over lunch and pitched the idea we could have stew. All that leaves is for us to go forge some mushrooms to bulk it up a little. Even with the amount of pizza we have left, but foraging for mushrooms could be fun. That's the spirit. There's stuff I want to talk to you about too. And I don't have any, and I don't have to mind my manners out in the woods. You kind of do a little still. Just being honest. What do you think? Want to come to the woods with me? Well, I thought about it for I thought about it for all of a few seconds. I could just easily find something else to do or hang out with someone else, but Dean had decided to hang back specifically to ask for my company. Sure. Shall we head off soon? The sooner the better. We could go now if you're ready. I won't need a map or anything. I promise I won't get us lost. So come on, we're burning daylight. Dean led the way, taking us by the greenhouse as he went inside to grab some things. I stayed outside and looked to the clouds on the horizon. Dark clouds. Looks like we might be getting rain tonight. Just make sure we're back inside before it starts raining and it'll be fine. What's wrong with getting caught out in the rain? Sal does it all the time. He doesn't have to deal with wet fur. Then I promise we won't be out that late. It'll be completely dry by the time you get back. Hopefully. I got close I kept close, eyes darting upwards as the canopy above covered everything in shade. We crossed the threshold into the woods, and I froze a few steps behind Dean. He looked back, raising an eyebrow before offering his hand out to me. Keep holding his hand. Hold his hand? Yeah, I'll hold his hand. Let me turn on my fan. It's hot as hell. I'm hot as hell, chat. I'm not gonna lie to you. Hopefully the fan isn't like blowing against the isn't blowing against the mic. If it is, I'll no. I'll hold his hand. Edged forward and carefully took his hand, giving it a light squeeze. He flashed me a reassuring smile and led me onwards into the woods proper. Far off into the distance behind us, barely visible behind the trees, was the mansion. Dean was venturing further in, though, occasionally looking to the ground. So, what are we looking for? You said mushrooms, but what kind? Oh, right. I should probably cover that. Especially when touching the wrong thing could be, well, deadly. I'd rather not touch anything if that's the case. It's not so bad. Just remember to wash your hands when we get back and avoid touching your face if you pick anything you're not sure about. Seems safer. Still not convinced? Are mushrooms really that dangerous? Very much so. Some can make you hallucinate, some very sick, and the really mean ones will kill you quick. Suddenly, I don't want to be touching anything. Then don't worry. I know what I'm doing mostly. It sounds like you shouldn't be touching things either. Like I said, wash your hands if you're not sure, or don't pick up anything. At the very least, I know some are safe. Right. So when Roswell goes into the woods, it's fine. But the moment you learn what's what's out here, you have second thoughts. He was going on a walk. You are talking about bringing back potentially dangerous things for everyone to eat. Well, that's not fair. I won't bring back anything dangerous. Here, I'll prove it. Dean spun around, his hands on his hip, and looking around to the forest floor. With a grunt of affirmation, he wandered over to one tree, snatched something off the ground, then did it again at a different tree before coming back. Look at these two mushrooms. They're both orange. Exactly. One of these is a chanterelle, and the other is a jack o' lantern. Not a jack o' lantern. Not a jack o' lantern is made out of pumpkins. I would know. Oh, no. He discarded one over his shoulder, shaking his head. Not this one. Not this one, Dave. This one will make you very sick. The jack o' lantern glows in the jack o' lantern glows in the dark, has parallel running gills, and hold on, it glows in the dark? Yeah, it's like a soft blue green color, but it does count. Wait, so the other one was safe. You're currently holding the poisonous one? With realization hitting him immediately, digging through the bushes somewhere deep in the woods, wiping his hands on his shirt. Well, maybe that was a bad call on my part, but it's alright. I'll just thoroughly wash my hands when we get back. So, should I just point at mushrooms that I spot and you check them? If you want. I did have some questions I wanted to ask you anyways. Alright, well, shoot. Also, I see some mushrooms over there. I mean, the ones that I already knew about, but that counts. So let's see. What would your ideal relationship look like? What do you mean? Romantically. What sort of things do you picture when you think of something you would be happy in? Wow, I don't think I really thought about it. Things just sort of happen. I'm happy as it is for the most part. But you're single, right? Yeah. So, how would you want your boyfriend to behave? What sort of things do you feel you'd want to be happening? Are you just talking about sex or. Well, sex is pretty great. I read a book once talking about love languages, and it had me thinking about what yours might be. Whatever language you're talking now is fine. Dave is so clueless. I can't. But to be fair, I'm also pretty clueless. Like not even sometimes, it's most of the time. I'm a clueless bitch. It's more how do you how you express your love and how you feel love. For some people, it's a hug. Maybe it's doing the dishes. Or maybe it's just sitting on the sofa watching a movie. Oh, those all sound good. I think for me, I'm a big advocate for physical stuff. I like having expression. I like expressing that I love someone through a hug or a kiss or just having some fun. And isn't that just normal? It isn't for everyone. I would know. I would know, chat. Listen. I will know. I don't think I get it then. You just say I love you and that's it, or buy flowers or something. Oh, that counts too. Some people like hearing that they're loved. Some people feel like they're loved when they get gifts. Not to say hearing that your love doesn't do anything. It just hits harder. Huh. I see. So with that in mind, do you sit up, picking a bucket up, and looking around the forest a little bit before heading over to another tree and me trailing on his heels? Is that something you like? Being told that you're loved? I think I just like having someone around. Doesn't matter what it is that they were doing, just as long as they're here. Oh my god, I get that. I get that a lot. Like normally when I'm on a call with friends or with Adrian, um, normally I just chill on call. Like we could be doing our own thing, and me personally, I just like the company. I just like the company. I hate feeling alone. That's the one thing that's my like biggest thing that I'm afraid of being alone, chat. Not even in like a romantic sense, and like in general. I don't like being alone. Even though like I might need my alone time, it's hard to explain. We call that quality time, which has a lot of overlaps with physical affection, obviously. Well, I do like getting cold too. Can you have more than one? Don't see why not. Can also feel love one way, but show your love in another. Any combination. So why this of all questions? Why asking me the super important for something? Or you don't think it's important to know? Especially if we're maybe going to get it on proper, uninterrupted tape someday. I guess. As Dean laughed, I caught sight of something flash between the trees. Something white, but it was gone after. Oh my god, no, dude. No, I know who that is. I know who that is, dude. That's the scary thing. Ready for another question? Huh? Oh, sure, I guess. What's wrong? I just thought I saw something. That's all. What's your next question? Oh, you haven't messed around with anyone before, right? At all? What gives you that idea? Just the impression I get. Nothing wrong with that, mind you. Yeah, can't say I've really done anything like that with anyone. Not really. Not really? Do I want to know? Do you? Absolutely. Aside from just being naked around other people, that's about it. Not really all that much touching. Well, some touching, but it's mostly my back. Huh? Like a massage? So whatever it was again, flitting somewhere off in the distance, that streak of white disappeared the moment I registered it, moving far into the forest. Dave, what's wrong? I saw something again. What was it? Don't know. Something white? Could be the shadows playing tricks on me. Or the sun coming from the trees. If it was any other color, I'd have some idea of what it could be. But white? It's probably nothing. Just me imagining things, probably. Oops. Well, if you're sure, do you have any questions for me? I did, actually. Go for it. What's got you curious? You've had sex before, right? Sure have. With someone you loved? Well, that's complicated. What do you mean it's complicated, dude? Like, dude, dude, dude. Like, what do you mean it's complicated? Like, did you love him? Did you love him or did you not? Like, what do you mean it's complicated, Dean? Like, what about this is complicated? So it's just a stranger? Feelings are complicated, but to answer your question properly, I've had sex with just one person. Thought about it a bunch with others, but never felt the drive to act on it. Ah, fantasies better than the real thing? Something like that. Sex is fun though, don't doubt that. Would it possible to have sex without loving someone? Or, what I mean, right? If that's what you're after, sir. What? What? If that's what you're after, sure, thank you. Or was that question specifically about us? Oh, no, well, no, not exactly. Calm down, Dave, I'm just teasing. I don't think you're in the position to be offering that sort of thing anyway. Why is that? I could totally offer that if I wanted. And do you want to? Uh, not right now? Ah, a shame. Nothing like quite, nothing quite like getting down and dirty outdoors. I'd even have, I'd even have, I'd have even let you cop a feeling if, cop, cope. I don't know. Wait, really? Maybe if we didn't have mushrooms together, and if I didn't need to wash my hands first. Oh, that's true. Ready for some more questions while we head back? We're done already? Well, the bucket's full, so no need to be out here any longer than needed. Guess not. Unless you want to be out here a bit longer. It wasn't much of a walk. it wasn't. It wasn't much of a walk. It wasn't much of a walk, is all. All right. Here's another question. We traded questions back and forth a bit longer, though a lot more innocent and less driven about how compatible we were. It even developed into a few games of 20 questions before ultimately we figured out it was best to start heading back. Stopped by the greenhouse to wash up and get a second bucket, Dean sent me ahead to fetch Roswell for a second run. Something about wanting to talk to him about something too, and I wasn't about to complain with how much I needed a break. We're back with mushrooms. Welcome back, guy. Welcome back, Dave. What's this about mushrooms, though? For the stew. What did you end up finding? Chanterelles? Yeah, I think. Dean did most of the work. I just supervised. Does Dean know what he's doing? If he doesn't, I can always check. I know enough mycology to know what's dangerous. Where's Dean anyway? Outside. He wanted to borrow Russell for a bit to talk about something and go to get more. Me? Why? I don't know. Didn't go into details about it? Are you feeling up for it, Roswell? I'm sure he'd understand if you were still recovering. I'll be fine. Trust me, I'm not taking any chances in getting lost out there a second time. Dean let us back, no worries, so that shouldn't be a factor. Then I better go see what he wants to talk about. Wait, mushrooms first! Russell lightly took the bucket from me and hurriedly picked through it, checking the undersides of each as he set each on the counter. It took him all of a minute to be done, tucking the bucket under his arm. All safe. Have fun, you two. He was gone before Orlando could question his assessment, and we were left looking at the small mound of orange mushrooms left in his wake. So? What? How'd it go? What? The walk with Dean? No, the other thing. Of course I mean the walk. Oh, it was nice. Just nice. We just talked. It was nice. Well, don't leave me in suspense. What did you talk about? Uh, sex came up a little bit, and how we feel about stuff. Promising. What else? And mushrooms. If I hadn't done anything, if I had done anything with anyone before, and did you two do anything? Oh yeah, we did. It was fun. Tell me everything. I'm surprised you were walking fine. Oh, I'd love to sit down. I'm kind of worried how. You're fine to sit down? Oh my god. Oh my god, I just realized what he's still. No, dude. Orlando, shut the fuck up. But as far as details, there's much to say. I guess Dean thought of something hard and had me struggling for a bit. We worked through his tape. You're making it sound worse. You're making it. But. Oh, but then right after. Oh, he's making it sound so much worse. Oh, but then right after, I got him right back and then he had to tap out. What? What? Dave, start at the beginning. What are we talking about right now? We played a game? 20 questions? Of course that's what you were talking about. Yeah? Don't worry about it. All that matters is that you had a fun time. Dude. Dude. Oh my god. You could not have said, but as far as details, there isn't much to say. You cannot say, but as far as detail is, there's much to say. I guess Dean thought of something hard and having struggling for a bit. You cannot say that wasn't what you were thinking. Like, guys, dude, like, how are you gonna, like, dude, Dave was doing that on purpose, I swear. Oh, that was very fun. I didn't have to wash my hands. Who knows what might have happened? Oh, wait, if he didn't have to wash his hands, who knows what might have happened? Guess no adamants on... to my chart. I guess no adamants on my chart needs to be made. What chart? The shipping chart with who I think would make a good match for you? What? That's a thing you're updating? For more than just you. In fact, I have a reason to believe Sal might even like me back. Really? Yeah, this morning went over great. Lots of casual touching, talked a bit about feelings, even came behind me once and got real close, if you know what I'm saying. Neat. More importantly, if you... Oh my god, dude! I keep forgetting that this novel is... yeah. If you need lube or anything else before you and Dean get up to anything, let me know. Better safe than sorry. Oh, thanks, I think? Just looking out for my best friend. Just let me know if he starts making any moves too fast or makes you feel uncomfortable. Is that likely? A slightest tilt of his head and the raise of his brow, and the corners of his mouth being drawn back, just that little bit more told me all I needed to know. Orlando at least thought it was possible. I'll be sure to let you know. Good. Chat, I don't even know. I don't know anymore. I really don't. I don't know what to comment about. I don't know what to say. Like, let's just continue. The rest of my afternoon was spent with Orlando in the kitchen, watching him work while I rested my feet. He was busy cooking something, and it was appreciated the company. I don't know what it's saying anymore. It did seem, though, that Orlando had decided to go against stew, but still cooked the mushrooms as a side dish. I took the initiative to set the table early, so I can say I helped. Table's all set, Orlando. Oh, good. Thanks. We're back with mushrooms. Didn't hear you come in. Didn't think I could be that sneaky with how large I am. Especially with how much we brought back. I don't think Orlando's gonna be too impressed. Why not? He decided to go against Stu for starters. Well, shucks. It's fine. We stocked up on mushrooms, so we want them over the next few days. Maybe we could have stew tomorrow or something. They look different, at least. What are they? Russell said they're patty. Thinks they're patty straws. No, they are. Thank you very much. An important distinction to death caps, if you aren't careful. Yeah, death cap. Okay. Yeah. Eating one would put you in a very painful 6 hour clock. 6 hours and then you die? Yeah, the time between diagnosing what you've been poisoned by and treatments is rough too. And you're sure these are fine? That doesn't sound worth the risk if you're not. Yes, I'm sure. You don't go messing things you aren't sure of, Dave. Alright, sorry. I looked over to Dean, who seemed distracted by something, or otherwise deep in thought suddenly. Dean, what's up? Huh? What? You just looked like you were thinking hard about something. It's nothing. Just been a long day, that's all. At least you're back now. I'm probably gonna turn in early too. Sounds like a plan. There's another bucket of mushrooms? Orlando leaned in quickly and gave him a whiff, taking the bucket off her as well. His eyes narrowed and he sniffed again, shaking his head. Good. For a moment I could have sworn... Sworn what? That they were poisonous? The smell is distinct, almost like cleaning chemicals. Not to mention that if you cook them, the poison just spreads to the whole meal. How do you two know so much about mushrooms anyway? You didn't learn this in school. Video games. If you read a book once in a while, Dave, you'll know that, oh my god. If you read a book once in a while, Dave, you'd learn more than just how to mix paint. But I like paint. We sat down for dinner shortly after the chanterelles that Tina and I picked being placed in the middle of the sharing platter. The patty straws, however, remained in the kitchen, unused. Dean was on my left, Tyson on my right, though one seemed keen to ravage his steak rather than engage in conversation. Try one of the mushrooms, Dave. I will, but steak. They're good. Even better because these are the ones we picked. Without waiting for another word from me, he snatched a mushroom from his platter and started making airplane sounds as he guided it towards my mouth. A sharp pain in the back of my head reminded me of what I saw, and oh. No! The dining room went quiet. Eyes were all upon me, but I didn't know what to say. Did I do something wrong? No, I mean, yes? Maybe? Well, which is it? Dean put a hand on my neck, gently moving it there to my forehead and shaking his head. Then he stood, offering a hand out to me. In my confusion, I took it. We'll be right back, everyone. As we made our way out, I could see Tyson giving me a worried, if filthy, look. Orlando, meanwhile, was picking up the mushroom I knocked out of Dean's hand, looking hurt or possibly offended. Closing the door carefully behind us, shook his head and wandered over the steps, leaning down to the lawn, gesturing me to follow. When I did, he clapped his hand onto my leg, lightly flashed me a smile. So, what's gotten you? What's got you all flustered? Huh? Your pulse was racing inside. I thought you might be able to have a heart attack. If you were running a fever, I thought you'd just be a little caught up in the moment, but... Oh, oh shoot. It wasn't because I tried hand feeding you, was it? You don't have some sort of fear that I don't know about, do you? No, not that. Well, maybe. It's complicated. Then help me understand? I know it isn't gonna sound like it's coming out of nowhere, but you aren't thinking of killing, uh, oofing yourself, are you? The color on his face drained immediately as he started to tremble, his hands balled up into a fist. I would never! Huh? I don't know what prompted you to ask a question like that, Dave, but I would never. Okay, well, I've got too much to live for, people to live for. Okay, maybe that's going a little far, but I don't want to die. Then I don't understand. That makes two of us. No, when I was messing around downstairs, I think I hallucinated that well, you were dead. Poisoned. But after here. Oh, poisoned! Oh, I thought you got stabbed. I could check the gallery thing to see what the thing was. Wait, so you think I just willingly eat one of those? I don't know. It's stupid. Now wait a minute. I don't think seeing any of your friends dead, dying, or anything like that is stupid. That's pretty serious. Now that I know that I'm going, that I'm, but know that I'm not going anywhere if I hadn't if I have a say in it. All right, I'm sorry. Don't be. I appreciate you being concerned about me. But boy, doesn't this just pile onto things, huh? What do you mean? Oh shoot, nothing. Don't worry about it. Dean, I got so distracted when we got back from forging that I forgot to wash up properly. Wait, so when you were gonna hand feed me, it's not like that, promise. I don't think I touched anything. Uh-oh. What? There was something out in the woods I touched. A mushroom. It smelled kind of funky after I'd done it too. Kind of sticky too. I was gonna wash my hands when we got in, but Russell asked me something that threw me for a loop. What kind of made you forget something so important? I can't get into it. I'm sure it'll come up anyways, but it's not really something I can share. Sorry. Was it important enough to distract you that much? Yeah, but it's not my secret to share. I can say you'll find out eventually, though. Right. Well, if anything, now I'm just mostly confused as to what I saw and how that could have happened. Not hungry at all? Less now, but probably should eat something. Let's head back inside. But we should both wash our hands to be safe. We stopped by the kitchen, and once I was satisfied Dean's hands were clean, we head back into our seats. No one seemed to really question our return except Tyson, who was picking his teeth with a knife. With a knife? As if nothing was wrong, Dean and I started to eat. Dean started to eat his dinner. He pulled from the mushroom from the center, though every time he did, I felt my stomach flip. I stuck with what just was on my plate instead. Tyson was the first to leave, with the others leaving after Orlando had brought some dessert. He'd thrown together after some dessert he'd thrown together afterwards. Then, after that was done, properly filed out, leaving me alone in the dining room with Dean and Sal. Do I want to know what that was about? What, with Dave earlier? He just he just he's just a stickler for people using cutlery. That's all. That's not very believable. It's fine, just freaked out about nothing. Oh, wait, that was Dave. Whoops, my bad. But you're fine now. Yeah, I'm good. Mostly. Don't worry, Sal, I got it covered. If you say so. But if you need a hand, I know where to find you. With a nod, Sal left us to our devices. Dean drummed his fingers on the table lightly before turning to me. Ready for bed? I think so. I feel drained after before. I think I'm just gonna make a quick trip to the greenhouse and then meet you upstairs then. Wait, what? What's happening? You think I'm gonna let you be alone after that worried you had before? No way. Is that a good idea? Why wouldn't it be? It's just for sleeping. Maybe a cuddle if you want it. I could go for a cuddle. I don't think you have to worry about anything more than that happening with how tired you are either. At least for me, though. At least for me, the thought of dying kills my. What? Yeah, I can't say I'm feeling all that appealing right now after all that, too. Why not? You're very appealing. 10 out of 10 handsome for sure. I was giddy the whole way back up to my room, riding high on the compliment as I stepped out of the bathroom from my. Oh, so Dave has. So Dave's. Guys, so Dave has a praise kink, huh? Hmm. Good to know, good to know, good to know. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with y'all. I mean, he could. Not that we judging, obviously. Well, well, I don't mind this view. Scrambling, I made sure I still had a towel wrapped around me and that Dean wasn't seeing more than I intended. I figured it made more sense for me to shower here rather than walk from my room in my underwear, if that's alright. Oh, sure. Uh, would you mind throwing me some underwear? You're not gonna wait until I'm in the shower to change? Not that I'm complaining. Uh, that's probably a better idea. And I should let you get to it. He strode past me, smacking my rear with a chuckle, making me yelp in surprise. Wait, before I forget, did you get? Did you? What did you get? What? Oh, I can't speak, guys. What did you go to the greenhouse to get? Oh, thanks for reminding me. I left it on your bedside if you hadn't noticed already. He disappeared into the bathroom as I noticed a lone rose that he left on the bedside. Aww, a rose. Once again, he left me giddy in such a short span. I got changed and laid down on my bed. With the sound of the shower running, uh, and the Haiti days I found myself from the warmth and fresh cut flower Dean had surprised me with, I fell asleep fast. The sound of thunder woke me up from my nap. The room dark and notably an absence of Dean, though I could tell that he had been here, his lingering honey scent wafting in the room. Setting the rose back on the table, I rubbed my eyes to get my bearings. It must not have been too late from when I first came to my room, but late enough that the rolling. Okay. Laying there, I could hear something almost buzzing in the back. Oh, okay, and then this is just the thing with. This is just the thing with Oswin. Uh, I should read this. You bugged the room, or is it just mine? For expectancy, let's just say for now to both. I'd consider it necessary to deliver two messages to you. Where are the messages? Where are you? You will not be able to find me by just look. Oh wait, I forgot. This isn't Oswin talking. This is fucking Thanatos. You won't be able to find me by looking. So just listen for now. The first, congrats. I didn't think the vault actually worked. And yet, here we are, bearing the witness to the results. It wasn't just a hallucination. For you, if for your sake that just makes it easier to understand, then yes, it wasn't just a hallucination. The second message, however, is an apology. For what? Did you do something? No, Dave, but in the coming days, perhaps weeks, things may happen that you'll see you potentially suffering you were not to be. What? Things may happen that will see you potentially suffering were you not to make use of the vault downstairs again. Oh, great. It's a merely potential concern, but one I'd rather bring up now before it's too late. Then, thanks for the warning, mister. Oz. You may call me Oz. As in the Wizard of. Is that a problem? No, no, just. It's fine. Good. Should anything arise, I'll send Benson to deliver a word or assistance as needed. He works for you? He's my butler. Of course he does. Although he's a lot less inclined to take action unless given an order to. At the end of the day, my interests are just to keep you and yours alive. I think I should do Oswin's voice though, even though this isn't Oswin speaking. I know that for sure. I'll just do that. Sure, but you're not making it easy to trust you. As far as I know, this is just Roswell pranking me. Believe me or don't, that's a decision you have to make on your own. Just know that should danger arise, no, it's real. All right, okay. For now, rest. We'll talk more tomorrow night. In the meantime, let's hope none of your friends are behind these unfortunate events. Wait, my friends? You think one of them tried to. I don't know for certain, but I would advise not doubting them just yet. Your friends may be the key in figuring out what's going on, after all. So, as for right now, I just go to bed and hopefully sleep well. Then tomorrow, we will speak again. Just like that, the background noise fell away to complete silence, shy of the sound of my own breathing. Rain started to fall easily, easing the thoughts going through my head and lulling me to sleep. Whatever these troubles and worries that I had been warned about was a later problem. D7 path question mark still. Good morning. The sudden voice made me jump, expecting to have a moment alone before breakfast. Did I startle you? Rubbing my eyes, I looked around the room for where the voice was coming from as I shook off my drowsiness. You would do well with not bothering to search for me, Dave. Remember, there are microphones and speakers. What happened to talking at night? It's only been. How long has it been, anyways? Long enough that I am heading to bed. But I wanted to relay that I have spoken to Benson. Cool. Very. Remember, be cautious. There's no telling when and where you may need to rely on the vault again to get out of trouble. Great. Can I at least have coffee first? I don't think you're taking this very seriously, Dave. How can I? Some random voice is telling me that the hallucination I had wasn't really a hallucination right as I wake up, and that I might have another not hallucination if I'm not careful. Fair point. What if we were to discuss things in person? Tonight. Huh? So, no radio tonight? Would it put you more at ease to talk face to face about these things? Honestly, I'm still half sure this is just Roswell pranking me. Then meet me in the library at 11 p.m. I'm sure that should be doable, though I would ask you to be discreet. The library? Why there? I feel it is the most private room for a discussion such as this. I'd rather not give myself away to those in the house. Yeah, just yet. How come? Are you scared? Though my worm seemed to go unanswered, nothing came back in a reply for close to a minute. Looking instead to the rose I had left on the bedside table, I wondered where Dean had ended up. For a brief moment, my blood ran cold, fearing the worst, but I settled on upon remembering how I ended up with the rose to begin with. Didn't stop me nearly jumping out my fur for the second time when there was a sudden knock at my door. Come in? Hey, Dean! Hi, Dean! Good morning. Oh, there you are. Just came to see if you were awake. Just recently got some coffee going and figured I'd see if you want any. Always, but what happened last night? I remember you taking a shower, but oh, that? You look too calm to pass out like that. You look too calm. You look too calm passed out like that. I didn't want to bother you, so I just went back to my room for the night. I wouldn't have minded being woken up. I'll keep that in mind for next time. But, but get your butt ready for breakfast. Coffee's getting cold. With a spring in a step, Dean wandered away so I could get dressed. The promise of coffee got me moving, though, especially now knowing that he was perfectly fine. The first sip of coffee was always the best. I wasn't sure if it was the creaminess of the or the warmth that I enjoyed more. It was most the same as having a mug of hot chocolate, but there was something more about coffee that just felt better. Not even the perkiness that came with it. Something that I fondly remember, even if a little sad at times. I looked up from my mug to see Ty looking at me from across the table, a cup of coffee in his hand too. I'd seen Tyson enough times in the morning before coffee to tell when he was too. Babies? Little Nova? Hi, mamas. Was that you that made that noise? It was. Okay. I got scared as hell. Still, he shot me a quick smile before looking around the table. By the way, I was talking to my puppies, guys. Sorry. I took the chance to take stock of who was in the room, thinking back to what Oz had said. I was meant to trust everyone in this room, and I did. I saw on Sal. For the most part, Sal just looked tired. Could he be the killer? All things considered, if it came down to a straight fight, he had the size and weight converted, with likely the brawn to follow. That's not even getting into the fact that he was good at wrestling. But he also known some medical things. I just assumed it was first aid, but what if it was more than that? Still, did he have the heart to do it? I knew bits and pieces about him, but probably not as well as some of the others. It was possible. Then I moved to Dean. He caught me looking his way as he was chatting to Sal, flashing me a wink before going back to his conversation. As much as I would have liked to wave, seeming like he was already distracted. There was something warm about him that made me feel nice, even if the pace we were going insofar as dating was gla- glacially slow. But maybe slow was good? It wasn't like I had anything to compare against. Yeah, compare. Dean being behind things could work, as he had access to a number of gardening tools and pesticides. So, as far as weapons are concerned, he was covered. But the thing against that, though, was that he was kind of unthreatening. Sure, he could have been some dark. There could have been some dark sides to him I wasn't aware of, but it just seemed more and more unlikely as I found out more about him and who he interacted with. By comparison, though, Tyson. Ty was ready to throw down at a moment's notice, especially if whatever happened involved me. That I wasn't sure if that was reassuring or not thinking on it. Now, was Ty capable of killing someone? Probably. But capable and willing are two different things. I honestly don't think Tyson would ever intentionally kill someone. By accidentally, I could see it. But accidentally, I could see it happening. Getting him angry enough, throw him into a rampage, and he probably wouldn't need a weapon at that point. Now, Roswell. My first impression was that he'd be more of a victim rather than a killer. His stature was enough to make me think at the least. Chat, does he know? Chat, does he know? does 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 he know? Chat, but it was possible. He was smart enough to probably pull something off, or somehow organized it to overcome the lack of his strength. Maybe. After all, it didn't take much strength to shoot someone if you had a gun, so there was that. What I did know was that Russell was typically easily upset when it came to, well, anything about death. I don't think he'd be able to hold it together if he killed someone without giving himself away. Haas and Orlando wandered back from the kitchen, talking among themselves about something as they were carried toast and a new pot of coffee. Just looking at Orlando, I could tell that if he was the killer, we had much bigger problem on our hands than we realized. As someone that could breathe fire, the possibilities of him committing acts of arson was there. He was in the same class as Roswell when it came to the prospect of dead things. That said, he probably knew how to use a knife in the kitchen if kitchen skills carried across to murder. Haas seemed to always know what was going on, or at least had a good read on people, from what I could tell. But maybe that was a case for alarm. All the people in the room, of all the people in the room, Haas was the one that I had the worst read on. All the memories I have of him were pleasant, I guess. He was always awkwardly friendly and was big on keeping people together in a group, inclusive stuff. But maybe that was a cover. Maybe he just wanted everyone around so that he had an alibi. I was too. It was too hard. I didn't want to believe that anyone here was a murderer, and I pushed thoughts further down into my gut. As far as Oz, though, was it possible that someone here was pretending to be him? My immediate thought went to Haas with his acting and all, then to Roswell because, well, smart, knew how to do spooky things, and he was the one who organized the trip. After that, though, Orlando, it'd be like role playing, so that's a thing. Sal, maybe? Talking through a radio might be easier for him than in person, but that just left Dean and Tyson. Dean was more likely of the two to be given. He was prone to be level headed, not when being overly flirty. But would he go through the method of setting up a radio, though? I was mid growl before I became aware of the looks I was getting. I was halfway out of my seat before Roswell eased me back down gently. Are you alright, Dave? Not usually one to growl. Should we be concerned? Well, he's out of coffee for starters. Someone better pour him another cup before he gets cranky. Oh dear. Well, Dean, pass the coffee, please. I love how they turned this dark. Like, out of all of this, they added, just because I picked Dean's route, like they added one dialogue just that is new. I love that. Like that shows how much detail and stuff they put into this game. And by the way, I did my calculations apparently. So we have to do every single character Every single character's route on every single path. So what is that? I know how many routes are in the game. B, C, D, E, F, G. There's 7 paths. Mm, 6. So 7 times 6 is what? 7 times 6. You have to play the game 42 times, and then the 43rd one you play the true ending. Like, I don't even know. I just took his coffee pot from Dean and refilled my mug just enough to make sure that there was still room for milk. We should do a thing. I jumped up suddenly, grabbing my coffee from the table in a single swipe, but snatching the milk from Orlando on top of it. I drank deep, setting down on the table soon after in a way which threatened for it to break on impact. Someone was causing my friends to be in danger, and that danger was resulting in them dying. Though with no leads or clues, it's not as if I had options. But if we were to stick together, there'd be less of a chance of someone trying anything. Yeah, let's do a thing. Someone's perky this morning. Yeah, let's do a thing. Anyone have any ideas? Are we not going to question the growling? I want to question the growling. It just seems dumb that we're all here not doing things together, right? It's been a week and we've only had one movie night. What have you got in mind, Dave? But the growling. I'm not doing anything else. Could it kill you to be a little more enthusiastic? Whatever, I don't have to answer to you. But the growling. Is everything alright, Dave? I'm fine, really. Looking at everyone on the table, I'm running my hands through my fur. I had everyone's attention at least, though I don't think I liked it. We're on this vacation, and despite all being together, we haven't done much as a group after being here a week. Meals don't count, and even then, people come and go. This was meant to be. The realization hit after this month was up. Chances were I wouldn't see few of these people for a long while. I sighed, suddenly deflated. We know that in ending with Tyson, at least. I think Tyson's like the canon love interest, which is cute. But hey, I won't know until I see the true ending, which I would have to play the game 42 times. Can someone? Oh, I need to know. I need to know. I might end the video here, but I need to know. Do you need to like beat every single route and every single path in order to get the true ending? Because I forgot how you get the true ending. I forgot. I could feel my ears drooping, feeling though as the first week was effectively wasted. Well, wasted beyond having saved one of their lives. But I shouldn't have to do that in the first place. What? What about if we spent today? Uh, about if we spend the day carving pumpkin? That seems like a big enough activity, assuming it's as big as Dean says. It's not even Halloween though. That works. If the only thing wrong is not doing more things together, then that's a problem we can solve. I don't get how we're supposed to handle this though. Doesn't make more than doesn't take more than one person to make one of those pumpkin things, really. I guess I could help carry it inside and then bail. No! You gotta stay with the group. Fine, fine. Jeez, you're pushy today. How about, at least for ease of setting up, we split into 2 groups? No point in getting all of us out there into the greenhouse. The more people will just get in the way there. The rest of us can make sure we have knives and such things ready to get into cutting, right? That works, yeah. I propose that Sal, Tyson, and Dean go up to do the heavy lifting while Orlando, Russell, and I get the knives and clear the space. Does that work for everyone? Sure, I can do lifting stuff. And don't mind me trying to clear space. Cool. So long as we start after we had... So long as we start after we bad breakfast. Oh, spelling error! There's a spelling error and it wasn't my fault! Chat. I think this is the first time I noticed the spelling error. After we bad breakfast. That's crazy. This is a moment in history. I'm gonna save here. That's gonna be it for today's episode, guys. I'm gonna get more into the visual novels and all that, so I hope you guys enjoy. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and I shall see you all later. Make sure you subscribe to the Twitch, by the way. Bye bye! Make sure you like and subscribe as well. I forgot to mention that.